I met Jess in Women and Business Conference. I attended to your workshop and I enjoyed a lot. And I thought you're bringing so much value in your workshop. And I'm very excited for this conversation because I feel that I'm in the stage of my life that I'm really having difficulties, and I find it very, very challenging to juggle everything. Jess is a transformation coach. She's a work-life balance freedom coach. And I am a social media agency owner and full-time mommy that just trying to juggle everything and just to learn how to do it. And I'm so excited for this conversation because I think there's a lot of value in it. Whenever I'm working, I'm very devoted to my work. And I feel that I'm not investing enough time with my child. And when I'm with my child, I'm very devoted to my child and I'm full on mode with him. So I feel like I'm not doing enough work. So I just felt that I'm not enough anywhere in my life. I mean, not for myself, not for my business, not for my child. And this is why I'm so excited to catch your brain about all those topics.
Thank you so much for having me on that podcast. I'm really excited too. A bit nervous, but it's so much fun to really just, as you said, like sit here and just pick on the brain and then just see what comes up. So really, really looking forward to be diving deep into this topic because that's really what I've been dealing with for the last couple of years. Like, as you have already introduced me, the transformation coach, I focus on work-life balance. I help high achievers that really feel stuck and feel burnt out to be growing into their full potential. I'm a full-time digital nomad, so constantly traveling, already have over 50 countries on my list. So I am also here juggling different things, different roles and different hats. So I do think that, the both of us can bring a very, very valuable experience to the table here.
Yes, that's so cool. 50 countries?
Yeah, there's a couple of more to come. Yeah, definitely. Still counting. It won't stop anytime soon. So yeah, but for now we're here in Cyprus.
You had a corporate career before, so what made you make a change in your life and become a coach, a digital nomad?
Yes. So I was working as an IT project manager and business consultant in the corporate world for like 7 years. And I went a very, very good career ladder. I literally went up. I was very successful. I made a lot of money, but at the same time, I was also working a lot. I easily did 80 to 100 hours a week on a constant level, and everything else in my life just didn't exist. So the topic work-life balance was just not existent at all, and I burnt out when I was 25. And that was really a moment where everything shifted, and I started questioning the choices that I made with way more consciousness. And I was like, okay, so I am in this situation, I am burnt out, but what is it that I actually want to do? And I really questioned my dreams, my desires, and also my values. And it came up that one of my core values is the topic of freedom. And I did not have any freedom in my corporate job, especially not working from like 5 a.m. in the morning until midnight. That was just not existing because I had to cover multiple time zones working with the US as well. So it was just really a tough time, and I knew something had to change. So I was hitting rock bottom and I knew I had to maneuver myself out of this, and I was focusing on the things that were bringing me the most joy. Like, what is it that I actually want to do? What is it that my heart lights up for, where my inner fire starts burning? And that was the topic of helping other people. I have done that through my career in business as well. I was providing them with services, with solutions, with IT solutions. So I was always there to fix a problem for a person or help a person fix their problem. And now I am doing pretty much the exact same thing, but with a different hat on and on a different topic. I am not fixing problems anymore with an IT software. I am fixing a person's issues, or I help a person fix their issues and their difficult times by getting to know themselves better, by really tuning in with themselves, by shifting their focus on the things that actually matter for them. So I am here because I went the exact same path. I burnt out. I was lost. I have literally lost everything in life, all my happiness, all my joy, and I needed to change something, and I did. And that gives me goosebumps thinking about it. And at the same time, it gave me the courage to also help other people to do that. And that's when I started into my coaching and training role. I have done 3 long-term coaching degrees as a psychological and systemic coach, also an ICF accredited coaching certificate, about a life and a soul purpose coach, a holistic human design coach. I'm topping that up with a master in body psychology and body psychotherapy. So I've been really diving deep into this for the last at least 5-6 years now. It's bringing me so much joy, and that is what I am walking this path, and I am following my values, and I am following the freedom in work and also in life.
That's so inspiring. Just the fact that you woke up out of nowhere. I mean, not out of nowhere, but like feeling this burnout feeling for a long time. You were 25, right? And that's so inspiring, because I think a lot of people spend years and years and years in the same kind of circle and just normally wake up when they're like, 35 plus. And from what I understand, from what I know. So this is, I think 25, it's pretty young age to understand that. So that's really, really inspiring that you understood that.
Yeah, like looking back at it, I mean, I wish it was different. Obviously, I wish I wouldn't have to go through this experience, but at the end of the day, it completely shaped who I am, and I had the chance to do things differently from an early age on. Literally what you're saying as well, there is a lot of people that are working for many years, many more years than I have done, and then at some point in their 40s, in their 50s, they're like, oh my gosh, this doesn't make me happy, this never made me happy. And I am so grateful that I had that realization and that cut in my life at an earlier stage on, because now I can actually enjoy way more of life the way that I want it to be.
Exactly. I believe that everything happened in the right time, in the right place. So
guaranteed.
It was perfect for you, perfect timing.
I just listened to a podcast this morning, and there was a guy, he said, are you thinking that life happens to you, or do you think that life happens for you? And it was all about the victim mode and getting out of the victim mode. And if you think that life happens to you, you're actually stuck in the victim mode. So make sure that you get out of this and be conscious about the fact that life happens for you, even though you may not see right in this moment what life will bring and all the difficult times, but life never goes up just like that. It always comes with up and downs. The sun goes down at night and comes back up in the morning, and it's just very natural like that.
I don't think there is any success story or any inspiring story in life without failures, without like falling and then get it up again. Even I give you like the most like basic example from books that I read about business and stuff. Like there's no one billionaire that didn't lost all his money and build himself again. Like there's no such a thing. Like you have to fail in order to succeed, and you need to fall. So yeah.
And I love failure. Like failure is so much fun as well, because this is where the greatest learnings really are.
The growth is happening there. And this is so important, because a lot of people just stopping themselves from doing what they really want to do in life. For example, changing career, or because of fear. And this is how people get stuck in the same routine. I mean, as bad as it sounds, if we don't listen to ourselves. And I'm this kind of a person that from really, really young age, I just try to make it work. I just try to make a solution to make it work. Even if I'm failing and falling, like I always try to make it work. And this is what actually I feel that built my resilience. But this is something that a lot of people struggle. It's to really listen to their gut and to try to be happy. But, I really want to ask you regarding balance in life. Do you think that balance is a real thing, or is it more a rhythm? Because this is something I was asking myself so much, because at this stage that I'm juggling so much, I'm just like, I want to find my balance. And then I started to research a little bit and ask myself a lot of questions. It's like, is balance even existing?
I love
What do
that
you
question. And you're not the first one that's asking me this one, especially because like there is a title of a work-life balance coach that I kind of gave myself here. And it really depends on how you're looking at balance. If you Google the word balance, then you're often coming up on like a scale. So you have two sides and either side is either up or down or they are balanced. When I think about work-life balance, it really is not about 50-50. You do have way more hats than just work and life. You do have family. You have maybe relationships, whether it is with friends or with a partner. You do have self-care. You do have joy and all the recovery in there. You have self-care in there. You have giving and caring in there. Like life is so much more than just work and life simply. So I truly believe that it is more about finding the harmony in all areas of your life, other than trying to balance out work and all the big thing that comes when it comes to life 50-50. That personally is something that doesn't work for me. And I have talked to many clients, literally over 500 clients, and they have shared the very similar thing, that it is not about balancing things out 50-50 equally at all times. It is acknowledging where your attention is needed most, at what time, and where you're putting your attention on something else. You have also shared that you're a mom, so there is times where your little one really needs all your attention and you're giving him the attention. And then there is other times where maybe daddy takes care of him or grandma takes care of him, and then you're focusing on another area of your life. This is harmony. And if things are going in with one another in flow and in harmony, then I feel it is way more on ease than trying to figure out to have everything equally on 50-50.
Yeah, this is, I have to say that I used to use the word balance a lot. And since I started to dig deep into it, I literally stopped saying balance. I just prefer to say juggle. I juggle. I try to, because I think this is the words that we're saying have a lot of, how do I say it, like importance or
meaning.
weight, meaning for us and for our brain, whatever we speak and believe. So I switched to juggling, but I'm still figuring this thing out. So yeah.
It also really depends on what you understand by using these words. Like if you have the connotation of balance that it has to be 50-50 and that it is hard for you to balance things, then I totally get that you don't like the word. Like for me personally, I don't mind the word balance because I know what it means for me. I know that it is way more than 50-50, that there is more components and that it literally is more about harmony and the rhythm that you're saying. And this is why it doesn't give me that heavy feeling that I need to achieve balance. I can actually say, work-life balance is something that a lot of people are trying to achieve, but they're only focusing on work and on life, and they really don't see all the different aspects that life comes with. So helping them to look at all of that, and you say juggle, which is something that gives me a bit of like juggle is so heavy. That sounds so complicated to juggle something. Like if you give me 3 balls, I can guarantee you 2 of them will lay on the ground in a second. So juggling is something that gives me a bit of an icky feeling. Really? But that's exactly what you're saying. What is the meaning of the word behind it that you have? So there is no word that's in general good or bad. It's just like, how does it feel for you?
Yeah, I'm always striving to be the best version of myself, right? So if I became a mom more than 1.5 years ago, and one of my struggles, it's like I needed to understand that the old Ella is gone, not from a place that, I'm a mom now, things change, not from a bad place, just I'm a better Ella. But I'm a different Ella because there's one tiny little person named Lenny that I love so much who is controlling me and responsible. He's responsible on my time. And this is why, because before having a baby, what I had in my life, it's my business, my relationship, and myself, right? So I felt I'm balancing between, because it was all under my control. I feel that if I have everything under my control, I'm responsible for my time. So this is my responsibility to kind of find the way that I'm balancing it. When there's a little tiny person that one day you're deciding you're gonna wake up at 6 a.m. and to start your day early or at 5 to catch up on work, on emails, and this tiny person decides to wake up together with you. You're not like, that's what I'm saying. How can I even balance life when I'm not responsible for my own time sometimes? This is why I say like juggle. It's more like doing here and then doing there, and just to juggle between things rather than, oh my God, I can't get balance in life because I'm always interrupted, like, or by him or by life or by clients or whatever. Like, this is what I mean by balance. When I felt that I'm responsible for my time and managing my time, it was much, much easier for me to balance it all than when there's Lenny and there's like unexpected thing. That kid can get sick. The kid can wake up at night because he's teething, and just because he want to. Sometimes you wake up in the middle of the night and just like, no, you want to go out and play. What can you do? What can you do? You're just like going with the flow. And this is a galaxy. I was fighting with myself all the time to be in balance until I started to dig deep and realize that for me personally, the word balance maybe means something else than it's like, this is why juggling come from. That I'm like jumping from here to there, and then like juggling all things like the balls, you're juggling.
Well, as long as you're taking it with joy and with ease as well, that you're like, hey, I enjoy juggling these things, then that's completely fine as well, right? If you're having that harsh, like, oh my gosh, I have to do it, I have to kind of hold all the balls up here, then it kind of gives that hard feeling. So, but the way that you've explained it is really like, hey, I'm juggling, I'm playing with it, and I am really seeing what comes out.
Yeah, I mean, that's life. I have a kid, I have a business, I have a husband. So, I mean, this is 3 things that I love the most in my life. And yeah, I'm just trying to be everywhere without losing myself, I guess, for me.
And then like now there is that picture that comes to my mind when you think about juggling. Like imagine the things that are most important to you. There are some glass balls that you're juggling. And then there may be other things that you're also juggling that are not that important. And they are like tennis balls, so they can't really break. So what you're trying to focus on is that you're keeping your glass balls up, that they don't fall down, that they don't break. But the tennis ball, if it falls down, whether it is, I don't know, a hobby that you're following and you're not going to the gym 7 times a week and the gym falls down one day, that's okay. It's not going to be breaking you. So the tennis ball falls down. If you're not going to be focusing on your child for a day, holy moly, that's going to be having a very, very big impact, right? So focusing on juggling, focus on the things that are most important to you, and imagine they're like some very crystal clear glass balls that you make sure that you give them the most attention and the most love, and other things may not have that high of a priority, so that's okay if they also go down and fall down a bit. So it comes all to time management, but also it's like self and priority management,
and to understand what are the most important things too,
Absolutely.
because I don't think that because I myself ask myself what are the 3 values that most important for me in my life. And I was like, holy moly, yeah. I mean, that's what's really important. And I found that I'm sometimes wasting my time on things that are not the most important for me.
Absolutely.
So that this is a great example with the tennis balls.
No, that's really, the first step is always consciousness. Like, what is it that is most important to you? This is also where my journey started, right? Like, what are my values? What is it that I want to do? And then you start focusing more on the things that actually make you happy and that are important for you. Like, just like we did in the workshop at the Women in Business and Beyond conference, right? It was all about prioritizing the things that are most important to you. And I gave a little task or homework to look at the things that you're doing in your life and put a time frame on it. Like, how much time are you actually spending on all the different things throughout your day, throughout your week, and then realize which one of these tasks or areas is actually important to you, and which of these areas are you spending a lot of time with but it's not important for you. And that's where the consciousness comes in, and as soon as you have that consciousness, you can create decisions that are aligned with your priorities and with what matters most to you.
That it's an important practice to do with yourself.
Important practice,
It's
important
like
ritual.
It's the first step. If someone really eager to make a change in their life, I think, it's like the first step to do what we did on the workshop, to realize how much time you're investing where and what are the most important things. So this is one of the greatest tips that you can actually give is like, choose, understand first of all, what are the most important things in your life. And then suddenly you can realize that, whoa, I'm putting my time in a different place that I should.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's literally like zooming out and then looking at it from an eagle perspective, looking at your whole life, at your entire being, and focusing on, okay, what am I actually doing? And like, where am I right now? And where do I want to be? And then how do I transform from A to B? But first, you need that awareness. You need that consciousness about it.
What are the 1, 2, 3 tips you can give to someone that understand that something is wrong and want to change his life, but he or she don't really know where to start?
Oh, that's a tough one. First of all, you're not alone. You really, unfortunately, are not alone, because there is so many people who are feeling burnt out and also do regularly feel the feeling of being burnt out. I've actually done a survey the end of last year, and the results were shocking. People in between 25 and 35 years old, there is more than 85% that have been feeling burnt out at least once in their life, and over 60% are continuously feeling burnt out. This was a number that still gives me goosebumps today.
Actually, yeah.
That is a way, way, way too high number for this young generation. So the number one thing is you are not alone. And it's as much as I don't want to say it's okay, because it's not, but it is okay. So acknowledging the situation that your body is giving you a shutdown and is like, hey, this is the sign that you shall not continue like this. So stop continuing like the way that you have been over the last couple of weeks, months, and potentially even years, because this is what brought you to the point of where your body, your entire being does not want to continue. I mean, burnout is not just I wake up and I'm a little bit tired and anyhow, I continue doing my life, right? Burnout is where the complete system shuts down. And it can look different for everyone. So there is no one symptom that fits all, but a complete fatigue, like being overwhelmed with the smallest tasks, with the smallest things that are coming up, such as washing the dishes or doing your laundry, is completely overwhelming you. Like there's just no happiness. There is no drive, no motivation in doing anything. This is like an extent that burnout really comes with. So you're not alone. Acknowledge the situation and then give yourself time to be feeling the feelings and looking at, okay, where does it come from? Where in my life did I take a turn that I, looking at it now, reversely, should have potentially not taken? And we don't want to go back and change anything that happened in the past, because also, as you said, like failure or learnings are part of life, but now we want to get back on track. We want to get back on the right track. So another thing that really helps is what I have just shared, like zooming out and then looking at your life. You can do that on your own. You can take your best friend, you can take your partner, you can even take family members and ask them for help to, like, let's sit down and reflect on the last couple of months or years, like where am I in life right now and where do I actually want to be? You can also do it with a therapist. You can do it with a coach. It really doesn't matter, but often it helps if you have someone on your hand that is kind of guiding you along it to look at your life and then see what choices you have made and what choices may not have been aligned with what you truly wanted.
Mm-hmm. You know, when you were talking about the percentage of people that are burned out between 25 and 30, I'm still shocked from the numbers, and I'm thinking, like, how the hell our parents and grandparents could be, like, in the same workplace for 50 years. Expecting this because I feel like in the age of between 20 or 30, you're supposed, like, to live your best life.
Supposed to have fun, yeah?
To kind of, you know, yeah, we need to work, you know, but you need to have fun and you need to live life.
Well, life is not the same anymore as it was 50, 60, 70, 80 years ago, right? And you hear that a lot from the older generation that's like, oh, you young people, you're not resilient anymore. And I'm like, yes, and maybe no, because life has changed. We're living in a VUCA world. Have you ever heard of the concept, the VUCA world?
No.
Okay, it's an abbreviation, 4 different letters. It stands for volatility, so everything's super volatile.
But what is volatile? Sorry.
Like everything is like changing all the times. Everything is like is volatile.
Okay.
Then we have the U that stands for uncertainty. Like we have no idea what happens tomorrow. There is people that are ruling countries that can say something one day that is going to be having something else collapse on the other end of the world another day. So everything is uncertain. Like you wake up, you don't know what your mood is going to be. If you hit your toe, everything's uncertain. Then we have the C that stands for complexity. So our life with all the global economy and everything that has happening is so much more complex than it has been years ago. Like the complexity that we have in our system and in our society that we have now has not existed 70, 80 years ago. So of course we need to adapt to that. And then we have the last word that is the A, super difficult word. It's the ambiguity.
Which language is this?
It's a terrible word. Ambiguity. Yeah.
Is it English?
It is. It's supposed to be English. Maybe
Sounds
not the
like
way that I pronounce it.
Ambiguity.
Yeah, that one. Maybe we can write it in the captions what it is actually called and how you pronounce it. And it is about the fact that there is some things in life that are also contradicting, and not everything is clear and black and white, and that everything is correlated as well. So we do live in a VUCA world where everything is volatile, complex, constantly moving, and that is just a whole nother level of impact that a human being has on their shoulders than compared to what people 50, 60, 80 years did.
I guess, I mean, we are much, much more exposed to everything in life.
Also that.
Too much information, too much knowledge. I mean, it's a good thing. It's an amazing thing. Everything comes with a good and bad side of it, right? But I will not take it any other way. I mean, I can't imagine I salute them, like being in the same workplace for like 30 years, 40 years, like, wow, for now, like, for example, I haven't traveled for like 6 months. I'm already like, I can't, I'm bored.
When can I go?
Yeah, I need to go, I need to leave, I need to switch my energy.
There was a third tip. You wanted 3 tips and I've shared 2 so far.
Yes, please.
The third one, really, I mean, wherever you can find me, my handle is joyfulbyjess. So the number 3 tip, which is actually supposed to be the number 1 tip, is follow your joy. Finally start doing things that spark joy to you, that light you up, where you have a feeling of, oh, finally, I'm coming home. And that can be as small or as big as you want, whether it is solving riddles, doing a puzzle, going for a beach walk, going for a nice pedicure, manicure, massage, whether it is going on holiday, whether it is buying a new pair of shoes, whatever it is that really brings joy to you. Start doing more of that. Start bringing that back into your life, because a burnout is happening when you're following things that actually don't light you up.
It's like your body
is saying no.
To it.
Is saying no.
Yeah,
yes.
And you continue pushing yourself. And you have like inner fight with yourself without even noticing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like stepping over the boundaries that your body actually tells you to not step over. And I'm not saying that people that are constantly following their joy don't have a chance to be burnt out, because they do. But I imagine it like 2 different houses. So if you have a massive villa, which you love and you adore and you love spending time in that villa, and there is a small fire at the basement, and then you have like a small shady shag that you really don't like going to, and then there is the same size of the fire, which room is running out of air first? Obviously the smaller one, right? The fire will be getting all the oxygen out of the shaggy one first. So you're running out of air to breathe in an area where you're not happy, where it's shady, where it's shaggy, way faster than in an area where you're actually feeling comfortable, where you're thriving, where you enjoy being, where you enjoy being lit up. And you can also take that into the workplace. Like if you are going into work with an attitude on a Monday morning, like, oh my gosh, I have to go to work now. This is terrible. I hate Mondays. Then you're definitely in that shady, shaggy small house here. And your likelihood of being burnt out is way higher than when you are going into, woo, work, Monday morning. I'm so excited that I can finally
that's rare.
It is
but
it is existing. And
I know, I
am
love
like
my
that.
job.
Like there's people that do like TGIF, thank God it's Friday, and I'm like, oh, it's Friday, it's weekend. I can't work anymore. I need to pause for 2 days. This is so sad. So it exists.
What am I going to do with all this time that I have? Oh my God, no.
So it's really about in which areas or in which environment are you in, and how do you feel like you can show yourself, you can live your best being. So please, 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 if you're taking anything away from this fantastic podcast episode, it is follow your joy. Do more of the things that light you up and that bring you joy.
That's beautiful. I think that a lot of people might don't even know that they are burned out because they're just busy doing life.
Yeah, well, that's one sign. You just gave yourself one sign again. I am too busy doing life, doing everything. You shall never be too busy to actually pause a moment, sit back and reflect on how you're actually feeling. So,
but I have to say that it is a possibility, because if someone working in a 9-to-5 job and you have a family and you have a kid and you have a lot of responsibilities, there is a possibility that person don't have the time and the priority.
yes.
He can't prioritize because he or she are not aware of it. That's what I'm saying. What are the main signs that if someone that listening to this podcast can understand, oh my God, am I burned out?
So the feeling that you may have is a feeling of overwhelm, of being able to not juggle all the things anymore that you actually want to juggle, or looking at what is it in your life that may have completely disappeared. I remember in my time of burnout, I did not see friends. I did not see my family, not even on Sundays, nor was I following any hobbies. I was working, sleeping, working, sleeping. I hardly ate in between as well. Like my house was barely touched because everything was happening outside of the house, either at the company or at the customer. So I was completely overwhelmed and I did not have the feeling of control over my own life. I had the feeling I gave it all up. I gave it to someone, something. So the feeling of overwhelm, but also to be able to feel that feeling of overwhelm, you need to sit down and pause. You need to sit down and reflect. And I am challenging everyone that is listening and that says, I don't have time to do that, because we all have the same amount of time. We all have 24 hours, 7 days a week. I completely get it. If you're working a full-time job, maybe you're working multiple jobs, you have a family, you have children, you have other responsibilities, totally get it. There's a bunch of responsibilities on your shoulder, and still it is your choice on what you're spending your time. And it is your choice whether you are actually pausing, if it's just 10 minutes a day, to sit and reflect on how you actually feel. So the feeling of overwhelm is a general feeling. A lot of people feel it in their core, that the core is really contracting and is not expanding anymore. If you have a very, very good feeling for your entire body, you may also feel the light in your sacral or in your heart as well, that it is just a bit dumb, that there is just a shadow that is on your entire self and especially in your body. You can feel a lot of tension. You can feel a lot of tension in your jaw. A lot of people have a headache. They have a stiff neck and stiff shoulders as well, often a lower back as well. This is where all the stress is stored. Our body is storing it. And this is where all the pain comes through. So people that say that the physical side of the body is not connected to the emotional side or your entire feeling, that's it. We are a holistic system. Everything works together. If you are stressed, you will feel it in your body. You will feel it in your jaw. You will feel it in your head. You will have a headache. You have a migraine, whatsoever it is. So listen closely to the signs that your body is actually giving you. And then also listen to the signs that your outside is giving you. My family and my friends have been telling me that from very early on. And they were like, girl, you're only working. How about you pause and you reflect? And I was like, no. I have to do this. So be open and transparent. transparent also with your family, with your friends, with your loved ones, and ask them, like, do you have the feeling anything has changed with me over the last couple of weeks, month, years, whatsoever? Like, where do you feel like I am standing at right now? And then be open and be receptive to their feedback. Because these people know you very well, and they may know you better than you know yourself right now, because they're looking from an outside perspective on it. So feeling of overwhelm, being like completely overwhelmed also with the smallest tasks. Yeah. Like, as I said, like getting the dishwasher out, I cried. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't. Putting the laundry up would take me hours because I could not lift the thing up and then put a clicker on it so that it stays on the freaking line to dry. It was terrible. Like going grocery shopping was a nightmare for me because I just wanted to sit down and rest. So overwhelmed, really getting feedback from the outside. And then the second one I said, I just forgot.
So what actually happened? What was the breaking point for you when you realized that's it? Do you remember that
I
point?
absolutely remember. I was on a project in the US, and we were about to launch a new product, a new service. We've been building up on that for month and month and month, and I was working so much. And I traveled to the US to finalize that with my developer. And by the time I got to the US, we were supposed to have 4 weeks left to really get into the final touch. And then I got there and my developer quit. And in the US, it's a bit different because if you quit from one day to the other. And the only person that was kind of responsible to be helping me finish this product, this service, was supposed to leave within a week. They managed to keep him at least for 1 week. So you can imagine how this week looked like. We were working day and night. I was hustling like there was no tomorrow. And at the same time, I was working with a person that knew he's going to be gone next week. So you can imagine that attitude as well. It really wasn't great. And I've been pushing it, man. I was like, I've really, really been pushing it. Slept at the office, really worked.
Oh my, no way.
It was,
Did you sleep in the office,
Well, no, I
girl?
didn't sleep because I worked. There was no sleep because I worked, but it was ridiculous.
Jess.
It was.
What a shift in your life.
Yes. Now I sleep most of the time. And the moment where everything collapsed really was the moment where my team decided that we cannot go live. And I knew that everything that I've been pushing through so hard and so much flew to the other side of the world is not happening. And I walked home and I turned around, I fell into bed and I slept 18 hours through. No shit.
Wow.
Next day, a colleague came after work, knocked on my door, and I was like, what the fuck? And I woke up. I was completely dressed in clothes on, so I slept for like 18 hours. Wow. Just like bang on the bed, and the colleague woke me up. And when I looked at him, and for the entire rest of the day, all I saw was penguins doing like this. There was penguins walking around playing the cymbal. And I was like, what the fuck's going on? My
I'm sorry,
brain
I'm laughing, but I was
stopped.
like, did you saw litter like?
I didn't feel anything. I was completely numb. I was done. I was completely numb. And that was not fun.
Wow.
And that was really the moment where I knew something had to change. And
I think you're very brave.
I don't blame my company for it, really, because also on the hindsight, looking back at it, I know that it was all me. Like, no one ever asked this from me. I have the best bosses. I really appreciate the support and everything I got from them at all times. And they were always like, Jess, go home, go home. You're not supposed to sit in the office on Friday at midnight. Go have fun. You're in your 20s. Enjoy it. And I was like, no, I need to do this. So it was my own thrive, my own wish for perfectionism that I continued to push myself more and more and more and more. It was never them. I always thought it was them at the beginning. Like when I was working, I was like, oh, why are they making me do that? I was completely in the victim role and I was giving the responsibility away. And looking back at it, it was me. I could have literally just left the office every day at 5 o'clock and everything would have been okay. It would have just not been according to my standard. And that's what triggered me the most.
I can totally understand that because if you are someone who is like very, very devoted to everything that you're doing, you're gonna do it at work, you're gonna do it in every single thing in your life. So yeah. But now luckily you're devoted to yourself and your business and your freedom.
Absolutely.
How lucky are you?
I'm very, very grateful I made that shift, really. And also, like, my devotion knows its limits. And I didn't know what limits and what boundaries are when I was working. And now I know, okay, if I have been doing too much on one side, then I'm now focused on the other side. And that is really where balance comes back in. So balance is not 50-50, but my business needs my attention sometimes way more than other things do. And other times I can literally just sit here, record a podcast and not focusing on whatever else the rest of the world wants from me. So it's really about also knowing when is your time needed, where, on which priority, and where do you want to shift your attention. And you have the same thing with your son, right? Like, you know when your son needs your attention, and then you're going and you're spending time with your son. And when your business needs your attention, you're focusing on your business.
Yeah.
And even though you say that sometimes you feel a bit bad about either the other side, when you're spending time with a business, you can't be there with your son. When you're spending time with your son, you can't fully do whatever you wanted to in business. If you are choosing that consciously and be like, hey, I want to be fully present with whatever right now, and I want to fully enjoy that. And I know that I will focus on the other thing when it is time and priority for this thing, then I feel the heaviness of the shoulders goes a bit away, because you go in with way more acceptance. You go in with the consciousness that you're like, I am here for you right now. Yeah. And I don't even care what the rest is, because I consciously chose that my time is with you, with topic XYZ, with person ABC right in this moment. And whatever else happens out there doesn't matter, because I want to be here with you. I choose you right now. And in another moment, you're choosing something else.
You know, I think that I still have, just thinking about it while you're talking, I do find myself sometimes like victimized, but not for too long and not for a lot of time. Just in the point that sometimes like, I can't. Sometimes I just look at my husband. I was like, I can't. It happened to me last week that I set my alarm clock. I tend to work also after Lenny goes to sleep sometimes, because I have a lot of work and things needs to get done. What can we do, you know? So I can work until, I try not to, but even if it means I'm working from 10 until 1, 2 a.m., that's what I'm going to do. So I was really, really tired one night, and I set my alarm clock for like 5. And I said, okay, I'm going to rest and I'm going to listen to my body, because I'm literally falling asleep on the computer. And then I set my alarm clock for 5. And then Lenny woke up 10 minutes before my alarm clock. And I got so angry, because this thing with the job, it's not like one thing, it's like days that I'm feeling behind, you know? So I do sometimes feel that I'm like, again, it's a momental thing. Like, I'm victimized, like, I can't do this anymore. Oh my God, I can't. That's so hard. I can't even work. I can't, like, and you know, and my husband said, okay, what can I do? You know, you can't do nothing, you know?
I love this approach, though, that he is like not telling you to stop crying, but he's like, okay, how can we fix this? This is a very, very nice solution-oriented approach, because a lot of people are focusing on the problem and just want to cry about the problem all the time.
But that's what I'm doing. I'm crying like, you can't.
It's okay if you do it for a moment, that's okay, and then you move over and you look into the solutions. This really is the shift also that is very important to do, to not stay in this role and not stay about crying over everything that is so bad. Oh my gosh, it's so terrible. But then at some point shifting into the solution mode, shifting into changing something. Also, like if you ask people, and if we ask the audience right now, do you want change? You will say yes. If I ask you, do you want to change? The answer might sound a little bit different, but change doesn't come out of nowhere. Change starts with you. Change starts within you and with the actions that you're bringing to the outside. So if you want change, you have to change. There is no other way.
No one will do it for you.
No one will do it for you.
No one will save you but yourself.
Yes.
This is like, the most kitschy phrase, but it is like no one is coming to save you. You're responsible for yourself.
Absolutely. You're responsible for yourself. And the only thing that you can change is yourself or your attitude towards something. The topic of help is also something that's really, really important.
To
whether
understand
it
that.
is family, whether it is a nanny, whether it is daycare, whatever it is, we are not supposed to do everything on our own.
And I think a lot of women especially struggle with that because it's so hard sometimes to ask for help. And we have to.
We have to. We're not made to be doing things alone. Think back thousands and thousands of years ago, we were living in communities. Men were the gatherers, the hunters, and the women were at home as a community taking care of the children. And why do we think that nowadays we have to do everything on our own? No, you don't. Ask your friends for help. Ask family if they are around. Find support, even if it is just for a couple of hours a week.
Yeah.
You don't have to do everything on your own.
This is something that I think that even me, I need to practice this more because, again, I see myself, I can complain about something and then my husband come and give me like, how can I help us? You can't, so I'll do it myself. I'll do it quicker and better. That's not correct. I'm trying to work on myself. I have to say I'm trying to work on myself to release this control. But it's definitely, life is a journey. I mean, everything is like a journey. So we learn and improve. And the most important thing is just to be aware, because when we are aware, we can understand that we need to change it.
Yeah.
You mentioned mind shift and mindset. What will be the top 3 short tips that you can give to someone that can little mindset shift, that they can start feel better from today?
I love the fact that you're into the top 3 things today.
Okay, top 1, top 2.
Everything is about
I
the top 3. I'm like, okay, let me go. Top 3. So when I think about mindset, you really can't separate it from everything else. This is a concept that I have shared at the beginning as well. Your body is giving you signals. And that even goes back to US professors that studied the mind, that studied beliefs. There is a guy that's called Albert Ellis, and he also talks about how everything is connected, the cognitive side, as well as with the behavioral side and the emotion side. So if you want to start shifting your mindset, you can start on either one of these. You can start either changing your behaviors, which will have an impact on how you feel and how you think, or you start shifting your mindset, how you think, which will then shift how you feel or how you're acting. If you manage to shift your emotions, that's fantastic. That's a higher skill, I would say, but you can still do it. You cannot be angry and smile at the same time. So this is a way of how you can actually also shift your emotions, which will then shift your behavior and shift your thoughts. So having a realization that everything is interconnected is very, very important. And that really helps you on finding different ways on how you can make that shift. You don't only have to shift the mindset, you can start shifting other things as well, such as behavior or emotions.
Thank you so much for all the amazing information that you shared with me and those who listen.
Thank you.
And where can they find you?
Well, I've mentioned that before, like all my handles, Joyful by Jess, Joyful by Jess Instagram, Joyful by Jess is my website. There is going to be a podcast as well, Joyful by Jess, at some point. Now that I talked it out, I'm going to make it happen. Oh my gosh.
That's it.
Uh-oh.
It's out to the world.
Like it's literally, that baby is laying there for almost 2 years now. And the first episodes are ready to go up, but I've never hit that publish button. So I'm so proud of you.
I'm going to check on you.
Thank
and I'm going to ask you, did you? When will you?
Thank you. I need someone that holds me accountable, and I'm very, very grateful that you're here. So yeah, Joyful by Jess is where people can find me, where they can get help, because that is not only for the topic of managing life and all the roles and responsibilities, it is also about getting to know yourself better. You don't have to do it alone. You can get help. You can have someone on your hand. I'm not here to tell you what to do. Don't get that wrong. Like, absolutely not. But I'm here to support you in looking at yourself also from a different angle and from a different perspective, so that you can finally get to know who you really are and who you want to be, and find a way of how to get there.
There's no better investment than investing in yourself. And this is also, I feel like, because I feel that this is something that I understand now that I didn't understand before. I tend to do a lot of things by myself, like rely on myself. But why?
Yeah.
Like if you feel that you're struggling, just take responsibility for yourself and get help.
Yeah.
And I think that you're doing an amazing job by helping people. Bless you. And it's such an important topic that for sure we can talk for hours and hours. But I hope we could bring some value to the ones who listen. And don't forget to share it with your friends and whoever you thought it's going to be interested. And thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much, darling.
Yes,
I really enjoyed it.
Amazing. Me too. Thank you so much.